Hello, everyone. Welcome to Small Biz Tips. So a few weeks ago, I got a message from a young lady, and I was so impressed by the story that she shared. I jumped on a call with her, and I was like, wow, we got to have her daughter on the show. So I'm excited. This is the first time ever in Small Biz Tip history. We have a young entrepreneur, younger than me, on the show. And Jillian and Jane, how you guys doing?
Good. Yeah.
We're doing great. We're excited to be here and excited to share and be a part of this.
Fantastic. So before we start, who is Jillian? Who is Jane? Tell the people a little bit more about you guys.
Why don't you go first?
Oh, I'm Jane. I'm 16 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a junior in high school, and yeah.
Awesome.
And you own a business, right? What
I own a
kind?
business. I play tennis.
And you like babysitting.
And I babysit.
I think that's
I
your
love
dream
Yeah.
job. If you could just babysit all day, that would be your
Yes.
dream job.
I love it. I love it. Fantastic, Jane. Guys, she's 16 and she's an entrepreneur. So that to me is fantastic because I wasn't an entrepreneur till I was 18. So seeing that, and I'm excited for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm
Jillian, how about
Jillian.
you?
Yeah, I'm Jillian. I'm her mom, and I've had the joy of being a part of this joy-bringing business that she's
Mm,
doing. It started very simply. She needed money for gas, and babysitting wasn't cutting it. And
wow.
so we just kind of started brainstorming on a whim. I saw this franchise for sale. I had presented it to Jane, and
Yeah.
she immediately was like, yes, I want to do that. It checks all my boxes. And from there, I'm so fortunate we live in a state that supports entrepreneurship.
Mm-hmm.
And we were able to get her an LLC even at her name, even at her age.
Wow.
And then with that LLC, she was able to get her a checking account. So this has been just a great learning experience.
So, all right, I love that, right? First, congrats to you for supporting your daughter because a lot of people will say, well, get a second job, get a third job. You actually brought the idea to start a business. Jane, I'm curious, what was going on through your mind when your mom said, hey, you should think about starting this business?
I was like, that's crazy. Like, I can't do that. I thought I was like too young or something, but once I like got into it, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
it's actually so much better than working at Subway and not making any money.
So tell me more, tell me more, tell me more about the business, tell me more about the story. How did it check all your boxes?
It's very flexible. I can
Mm-hmm.
like with tennis season coming up and like school, I can like do it before or after school, like anytime I really want. Uh it's really good because like I can like train and hire my friends.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not like
cool, right?
it's not like as hard as like I feel like any other business, I feel like. And
Tell us
it's
about
fun to do.
what kind of business is it?
It it's like a milestone, like you can like celebrate people's milestones, putting up like
Mm-hmm.
birthday signs and like anniversaries, Christmas,
Nice.
anything like that.
Have you hired your friends yet?
I haven't, but my friends have been like, I wanna have that job too. And I was like, I could train you. So I'm probably gonna train them like when I go on vacations and stuff. But
And
yeah.
That's pretty
it's
cool.
it's a very creative job.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Jane is a very I am not a creative person. The way that she designs these scapes is the best way I
Mm-hmm.
can describe them. These graphic scapes in folks' yards. It's balanced, it's beautiful, there's symmetry,
Mm.
everything's in a line. If I was putting signs in people's yards, first of all, I don't have the strength to get them in. The ground is hard. So she's got the strength to get them in, but does it in such a beautiful and artistic way. And I can tell that you get more joy out of that than being the sandwich artist that you were at Subway.
Yes, I
So
do.
wait, I'm curious, right? You're 16, you were working at Subway, and you need money for college. Is that what it is?
College, my car, and just every day
That's
finances, I
fantastic.
guess.
And then your mom decided to bring you a business. So how did you, Jillian, present that idea to her? Like, what did you say, but like to really pick her interest? Because most people are like, Mom, I don't want to hear about this.
Well, I definitely started with the cold hard truth.
Mm.
She's been living a life where she just swipes my Amex and life continues. I won't tell them about actually technically her first job was a hustle. She would take her friends out to eat. They would give her cash for their part of the bill. She'd put the whole bill on my credit card and pocket the cash. So that was really her first job.
What?
I told you I was going to tell it. I'd look at the bill and I'd say $14 at Starbucks. Like I knew prices had gone up, but what is she buying? And then she's like, "Oh yeah, I bought Molly's and she gave me cash for her, but where's that cash?"
I love it. Oh
So
man.
I just told her the truth, that we really, it's hard at parents right now because prices are so high
Yeah.
for gas, for, I mean, just going to a concert was,
Yeah.
by the time you paid all the ticket master fees and all of that. So I want her to be able to have things and do things, but I also want to be mindful that I'm not getting her stressed out and spread too thin. Like, oh,
Exactly.
my schoolwork is suffering because I'm having to work 3
Yeah.
jobs after school. Like, so trying to find that balance. And I just kept doing the math. And I could not, there weren't in the 168 hours in a week, she could not
Wow.
work enough hours
Yeah.
at
The
minimum
math wasn't
wage.
mathing.
The math wasn't math, yeah. And I'm a serial entrepreneur. I love starting. I think you either are an entrepreneur or you're not.
Yeah.
Like my husband is not an entrepreneur. He wants to work 9 to 5 and have his 10 days a year off, and that's his deal. And I think Jane has spent so much time listening to me work and watching me work that she kind of was already primed for the entrepreneur bug.
Without knowing that she was, right?
Yeah. And so I just presented it to her. I was like, hey, the math doesn't work. You can do whatever you want, but here's the parameters. You're going to pay for all your own stuff. So if you want to, however you plan on doing that, you can pay for all your own stuff, and you're going to have to, the deal we made with her was we'd pay 1/3 of her college. She would need to get scholarships or loans for the other third. And we expected her to pay for the other third. And so I just presented the idea and said, hey, I think this is a good opportunity because it is creative. You don't have to, she doesn't like doing math, so she didn't want to have to count money. That was another requirement. Everything is done online, and it's a very fun, no one's upset when you're putting a sign in their yard. They're not bringing their sub back to the counter going, oh, there's too much mustard or not enough mustard. So those can be hard situations for kids to navigate. And we just kind of talked about it. And from jump, there was never any hesitation. The only hesitation that I ever heard from you was just the logistics. Well, how does it work? How do I get paid? How do I pay my friends? How does this work? You're really worried about
these are really good questions to ask. Yeah. So tell me more about that, right? Like, how do you guys get customers?
So it is a national franchise, Card My Yard. If you're interested in getting a franchise for one of your kids, I would be happy to walk you through the process. It's I'm an advocate for the company. They've been a great supporter. It's a family-owned business. So I feel very comfortable being affiliated, having my daughter be affiliated with it. So happy to help any other families that want it. But so Card My Yard has a national website where grandma in Nebraska can go online and send a birthday card to little Billy in Houston.
Gotcha.
And so instead of sending, something that, yes, he will enjoy it, but this is a visual thing. His friends can see it. It's that FOMO factor. Because I've noticed once someone has a birthday sign, oh, now Sally wants it because Billy had it.
I see. It's that referral network based on missing out.
Exactly. So our orders are submitted through the corporate website, which is great because they process the payments. I was worried about having to figure that out. The only businesses I've done has been business to business where we got checks, paper checks. I never had to process a credit card before. So I was like, logistically, how am I going to do that? But they solved all of that for us. And then, or you can reach out to us on our Facebook page at Card My Yard Raleigh.
Nice. So are you guys also, when you do a sign and put it, for like a customer, are you also taking pictures of it and then sharing it on social so more people know about it?
I usually take like multiple pictures of it once I'm done, and I do a time lapse video.
Oh, that's cool.
Sign up.
That's good marketing.
Yeah. That's
she's diligent.
No, that's pretty awesome. because when you do the time lapse, your friends see it, they see you putting the process, and they're like,
Mhm.
oh, okay, I see how this is done. Oh, that's what I want. That's pretty awesome. Congrats. So you guys have this business this year, right? What has
Just
been
this
some
summer.
of your mistakes? What have been some of your lessons?
I think this one yard I had, it was just like pure rock. Like there was like grass. It like just seemed
Yeah.
there's like grass, but underneath there's just rock. And
So
I
how'd you do it?
couldn't get the stakes in. Well, I eventually got it done. I eventually got it. But now I know that we have these black like stake things that go on top
Mhm.
of the grass if the grass is too hard. So yeah,
Good, good.
it's
You learned
probably my
something.
biggest one.
She came home from that install and her face was all red. Her hair was no longer in a ponytail. It was like in a puffball. Her shirt was like hanging off her shoulder. I was like, what happened to you?
It usually takes me like 30 minutes to do, but that one took
Mm,
like an hour and a half.
wow.
It's
Yeah, so it's a lesson, right? Now you know, okay, this is how I deal with this situation. What has been kind of like your most exciting part about what you do now with this business? What are you excited the most about?
I like seeing like people like hearing about their experience with it because
Mm,
I recently had a sign where this lady, she was doing her last cancer treatment, and
wow.
she came home and she texted us and said that she cried when she saw it, and
Wow.
that was
That's
so
Tell them,
fantastic.
tell them what the sign said.
it said mama is a queen.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. I'm curious, right? Because that's good marketing as well. People just sharing those testimonials. Are you also sharing those on social?
We are, and we're getting her social up and kind of going. I'm not socially hip, so I'm
Yeah,
very fortunate that I have a virtual assistant who handles stuff for my business already, and so he
nice,
is taking over handling her social because that was
nice.
another just from a parent's point of view. It's,
Yeah.
we didn't want to put her out there too much for all
Mm-hmm.
the reasons we know, but it's important from a marketing perspective to have videos and have engagement
Yeah,
with your audience. And so utilizing our VA was a way that we kind of buffered that. So he handles
that's
posting it
awesome.
because she still doesn't even have a personal social account. So he handles posting it and then interacting with any comments. And that makes
That's
me feel safe
fantastic.
that she's not going to have,
Yeah.
any
And
crazy
then
online things.
exactly. But when the customer reached out, she can pass that on to her.
Mhm.
So it's also creating systems in the business to help her through the process. Now, do you see other kids like you have businesses as well in high school?
Not really. No, I think it's just me.
No,
But
that's
most people have
fantastic.
like ice cream job, like retail, stuff like that, which is
Do
not
you
bad.
think you inspire them because, you're doing something different?
Yeah, my friends have told me they're like, that's so cool. Like, I wish I could do that.
No, that's fantastic. I mean, I'm looking at the time since we're almost about the time to wrap up. Like, what would each of you, right? Because you're both entrepreneurs. Now, you in the entrepreneurial world, Jane, what would you say is like that one, you know, a parent that's thinking about having their own kids just like you start a business, or what would be that advice you would share with that small business owner or that kid that want to be an entrepreneur like you are?
Oh, I say just go for it. Like, you might have some like questions, like just like do
Mm-hmm.
it and like
Mm.
be like prepared, like have like lists, have like um just be prepared for it, I guess.
How did you prepare?
Well, we have the assistant,
Mhm.
which helps
Mm-hmm.
a lot. I think like social media helps a lot.
And you make your, you get your car set the night
Yeah,
before.
I prepare the night before and I keep my calendar straight with all my signs, all
That's
my
awesome. No,
schools.
that's dope because there's people that are business owners now that still doesn't know how to set up the calendar. So, so you're ahead of a lot of people. So that's pretty cool. How about you, Jillian? Like, you going through this experience with your daughter, what is that one small biz tip you would share with any parents who are entrepreneurs or thinking that their kids could be great entrepreneur? What would that be, that small biz tip you would share with them?
I'm going to kind of echo what Jane said. Go ahead and do
Yeah.
it. The math is there. So that was just the logistics function of it. But also, I love what I have seen it bring out in her ability. She came in, just to kind of give you perspective, there are 2,100 individual graphics that we use to build these different lands, these different yardscapes.
Yeah.
And they're about 18 by 24 inches, that they vary. And so her first challenge was, how do we store all these? How do I keep, and they've got these metal stakes coming out the bottom.
Yeah.
And I told her, I was like, figure it out. Figure out what figure out a solution. And so we kind of talked about it. And then, but just go, don't be afraid, jump in and do it.
Yeah.
Work to trust your relationship, trust that you can work through problems, and trust that your child can do more than you think they can. She has really amazed me with her ability to solve problems and create process. So like with our virtual assistant, that was the other part of it. As a parent looking for a franchise, I didn't have time during the day for another job. And I didn't know how we were going to handle it. So having him not only handle social media, but handle any customer phone calls and emails keeps that off my plate. And then Jane decided that she wanted him to put it on her calendar, the address, what day, what time. So he coordinates with the customer what time. And so it's on her calendar, and she likes kind of keeping that organized and confirming. So that's more than one tip, but I guess, but go, trust yourself, trust your children, and
go
find
for it.
a good fit.
I love it.
It's been a great.
I love it. I think knowing your child is very important because you know Jane enough to know what she likes and dislikes. You know what I mean? Because you could have tried to get her into a different franchise with a lot of numbers, and she'd be like, "Oh, I'm not interested in that." You found something that's the right alignment for her, so I think that's huge. How do people get in touch with you guys if they want to, do business with you, Jane, or with you, Jillian? What's the process look like?
You can email us, which
Okay.
is Raleigh@cardmyyard.com. And our
Cool.
very nice virtual assistant will help us get back to you. Also on our Facebook page, Card My Yard Raleigh, and we're going to be adding more and more videos there. We don't currently have a phone. Again, this is probably a great example of we're working through things as we're working through things.
I love it.
Because we bought an existing franchise, and she used her cell phone number as the business number, which of course I don't want to do because I don't want to answer those calls during the day.
Yeah.
So we're kind of solving that problem with some Google Voice and things like that. But it's always a new journey to another thing to kind of solve and work through. But it's all doable.
Fantastic, guys. Thank you for jumping on, guys. Check out Jillian and Jane. As you can see, they're doing an amazing work with this franchise, and you guys have an amazing day. Thank you.